Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the weekly video broadcast. My name is Jennifer, and I am here to talk to you today about transitions. Before I get started, I would like to remind everybody to please share with your friends the videos, the Facebook page, and if you have not already, please sign up for my weekly email blog. If you go to Facebook at Dr. Jennifer Edwards Coaching, you can click sign up and that will bring you to a form. All you do is enter your name and your email address. And every week you will receive an email with an article of many different topics in your inbox. So as I mentioned today, I am going to talk about transitions. And transitions in life are when major change is happening. We all know that change is constant. If there's one thing we can count on to be stable, it's change. And a lot of us resist change. Resisting change is very normal because change can be scary. Very often when change is occurring for us, it's because either A, we really should be changing something that we don't want to, or B, something changed on us, to us, and we didn't really have a say in it. When change is big, that's what I'm referring to when I say transitions. Transitions are when you're going from one chapter of life to the next. Big things, maybe it's a relationship change, maybe it's a career or a job. You're moving, you're getting married, getting divorced, children leaving the house. A health condition can cause a major transition. Financial, status shifts, in your life. There's many, many different examples of what a transition can be. And the common denominator in them all is that it brings about a lot of change. And change can be very unsettling. So just to share a little bit, back in 2020, all of us went through a lot of transition. We went through a lot of change. People went from working in an office to working at home, children in school, children homeschooling, not being able to do social activities. I mean, it goes on and on. For me personally, on top of that, I had all of that, and I was transitioning in my career. I had sold my practice, which was really not an easy thing for me to do. I then later that year ended up leaving my practice and going to another practice for about 11 months. I was having some transitions in my home life as well. And there were times that I literally didn't know where to turn. I felt like there was no stable ground. So the first thing I wanted to just say is that one of the most important things when going through transition is support. And making sure that you reach out to people, that you talk to people. I can remember multiple times during that period calling my coach on the phone, or texting, I need to talk to you, and just in tears. But getting it out, having that stable voice on the other end of the phone, somebody who's not in it with me, to say, you're good, it's all okay. Because what happens when we're in transition is we can feel like our whole world is just rocky and shaky. And if we have multiple transitions going on at the same time, it can be even worse. Like you don't know which way to turn. So having people in your life, having friends, working with coaches, having mentors, whoever you can go to talk, to just say, oh my gosh, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling scared, and having that person be able to say, you got this, it's going to be okay. Because at the end of the day, it will be okay. No matter what you're going through, it will be okay. So I want to bring to you today 3 keys that can help with the process of going through transitions. The first key, and this is really something that is helpful in life, not just with transitions, but really every day, and that is having faith in the universe. Having faith in whatever verbiage that resonates with you, whether it's having faith in God, having faith in the universe, having faith in your inner self, whatever works for you, that's relatable and as far as the paradigms in which you live, but just having faith that ultimately everything is working for your best interest. There is a lesson to be learned in anything and everything that you go through in your life. Sometimes when we're in it, it's really hard to see that. And we might say, well, this happened and that happened, and what do you mean this is in my best interest? How could that be in my best interest? And it's not an implication that something bad was supposed to happen or an implication that you deserved it or that you wanted it. It's just understanding that part of our journey through life is sometimes difficulty, it's challenges, it's changes, it's transitions, it's things starting over, it's things ending, things that need to end that we're afraid to make end, things that end on us. All of it, all is part of the journey, and you are on your own special journey to get to where you are going to go next. And when we can just trust in that and say, I don't see it now, this is awful, I feel terrible, I'm anxious, I'm upset, I'm depressed, whatever, knowing that and just having faith in that can help you get through. And I would suggest that you think back on some difficult times you had in your life, especially times of transition, since that's what we're talking about today, and really look back when that person dumped you and you were heartbroken, or you got fired from that job, or you had to leave that person that wasn't treating you well, but it was a hard time, or your children went off to school, or you had to move, or whatever. Think back to difficult transitions or difficult situations in your life. And most of the time you'll be able to go, yeah, but now I see that if I had not been fired from that job and then been unemployed when so-and-so called me, I never would have fill in the blank, and then I never would be where I am right now. If that person I was in relationship with had not dumped me, I remember for 3 weeks I was heartbroken and crying. But can you even imagine if I was still with that person? Oh my gosh, it would be awful. And look what I have now. Right? So there's so many examples where we can look back after the fact and see that really there were lessons. I learned that from now on, fill in the blank. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. If life is always rosy, we're never going to get anywhere. So just having that faith is key number one. Having faith in yourself, having faith in God, the universe, whatever. Just that knowing you are on your path, you are on your journey. And knowing that will help you to also pick up and take the actions that you need to take to create what's next for you versus just sitting back and having it all happen to you. Key number two in navigating transitions is having strength and malleability. As we just yesterday, the southern part of our country in Florida dealt with a major hurricane. And as I was writing this email that I sent yesterday on this topic, I was thinking about the trees and actually I was thinking about all of it, but the trees that are strong but malleable are the ones that are going to make it and not get taken away by a hurricane, right? Because we need to be strong. That strength, and I don't mean strong like, I mean just strong in our sense of self, strong in our sense of love for ourselves, strong in our faith in whatever it is that you have faith in, including yourself. And it's like setting that solid root system for yourself so that whatever happens, even when it feels terrible, there's this underlying strength. You're rooted down, you're anchored, and once I get through this, I'm still anchored and I will still be here. And the malleability is swaying. Sometimes we can get attached to certain outcomes or the way something has to look, but I thought I was gonna, but in 5 years I was supposed to, sometimes we can just let go. We can just let go of how things are supposed to be, how things are supposed to turn out, what that person was supposed to do, and learn to just sway with life, as life is going, as you're on your journey. We set a course, we set an intention to go down a path, but sometimes, whoa, it needs to go over here. And when we can allow that, when we could say, you know what, I don't know why all of a sudden I'm going this way when I thought I was going to be going there, but I'm just going to trust that this is where I'm supposed to go. And that's where we uncover things that we didn't even know were there to uncover. We end up in places we never thought. You know, when I started college, I was going to be a psychologist. I started out actually in business, went to engineering, went back to business, and got a degree in psychology with an intention to become a clinical psychologist. I ended up going to veterinary school. I was a senior in college. It just came to me. If I had not been able to be malleable and be like, whoa, why all of a sudden do I have this interest? And I went and started looking at veterinary books. I don't know why. And there I went. And there's no doubt that's what I was supposed to do with my life. But if I had been rigid, nope, I said I was going to go to graduate school, I was going to get my PhD in clinical psychology, then my whole life would have been different and probably not have fulfilled me the way veterinary medicine has as a career. So there's goal setting and there's intention setting, which are extremely important. And there's also a little bit of not being too attached and allowing yourself to sway while you're rooted down. The third and most important key to getting through transitions and, quite frankly, getting through life is taking 100% responsibility for your life. Anytime you find yourself shaming, blaming, or complaining, that is your key that you are not taking 100% responsibility. And when you are not, you are in what I call victim mode. And that is when life is happening to you. And very often it feels that way. And sometimes, honestly, in a moment, we just need to go there. You know, something happens, and for a period of time, we just need to have our experience, we need to have our emotions, we need to wallow. And then you get to decide, how long is that going to go on? How long are you going to be a victim? How long is life going to happen to you until you stand up and say, okay, where can I be responsible here? This is not about blame. This is not about fault. This is about taking 100% responsibility for your life. This is about owning your power. Because as long as the power is over there in the circumstance, well, as soon as that happens, as soon as he or she stops, you know, if only they wouldn't, you know, that is giving all of your power away and you stand there helpless. Take it all back. No, 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 no. None of you get to say how my life is going to go. I say. And then sometimes it's not easy to say, okay, well, and I'll just throw out some examples. Where I can be responsible is now looking back and seeing that I could have left such and such relationship 6 months ago when I first started seeing that it wasn't going well. Where I can be responsible is I actually could have started looking for a job when the writing was on the wall. And it's not bad. You don't have to beat yourself up. But just take that and say, okay, I got it. I see that now. So now what am I going to do? So it's not about blaming yourself. Shame is basically self-blame. And anytime that's present, you lose your power. You're in victim mode. And when you can step out of that and say, I am 100% responsible. I am causing the matter of my life. I and only I get to say how it's going to go. This is my life. That's when you take your power back. That's when you can stand up, even when the, you know what, is hitting the fan around you and you're like, I can't even when you're anxious, even when you're depressed, even when you're grieving, even when you know, are hurt, all of it, you still can stand up and own your power and take back how your life is going to be. So that is always my number one most important key. I cannot emphasize that enough. It's not always easy, but it's a place to stand in, and it's a place to strive always to get back to in a moment. So that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about for today when it comes to transitions. I will just say, out there, no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, whether work, home, relationship, money, it doesn't matter what you're going through. You got this. You're going to be okay. You can do it. And anytime anybody is in a crisis, is falling apart, because I've been there, I know, always feel free to reach out. So with that, I wish everybody a wonderful day, and I'm going to go walk my dogs and go experience the beautiful transition of summer into fall in New Hampshire, because right now it's gorgeous out there. So I love you all, and don't forget to sign up for the weekly email blog. Okay.